I love the moment when you drink a beer and you pause for just a moment and then you top the glass off completely. That is beer drinking. And that, when it hits the table, is perfection.
Beer and food go together. Like, that's what it was designed for.
A dish is about telling a story. There should be a beginning, a middle, and an end.
The thing that I enjoy most about it is, when I get to sit back when everyone has their food and I can see on their faces that they're enjoying the food, having a cold beer, and just having a good time. Really, that's what it's all about.
So my background in the culinary field started when I was very young. I'm all boy, and initially I just wanted to get my hands on that big knife Mom had, right? And so I started cutting vegetables, and it kind of all started from there. I didn't even know what a chef was. I didn't know what a restaurant was, but I was the first and probably only varsity football player in home ec.
My family hails from Milwaukee originally. Many years ago, my great-great-grandfather had multiple business interests in the brewing industry in and around Milwaukee, and his operation was shut down with the passage of the Volstead Act. I got home from Desert Storm. I was in the Marine Corps, and I walked into a brewery in Clearwater, and I said, hey, I might be able to be pretty good at this. I learned more about the beer business than you could possibly imagine in the first few weeks. And it's been a straight run ever since.
So we want to talk about the collaboration between me and Tim, right? Is how that all started. Well, does the beer match the food? Does the food match the beer? And it's really just a collaboration of that. We talk just in passing, as we're working our shift, we'll talk about what he's working on and vice versa. Like I'll run a special and, or tell him what we're going to do for the holidays or things like that. And then he can pair the beer with that. Anytime we have a moment to talk, what he's working on, it really is just a true story about who we are as ukulele.
I have a bromance with my chef, right? We get together all the time. We're always talking. What's coming off the fields? What's coming off the boats? It's kind of fungible. It can begin from many different angles. A lot of times it's inspired by an idea. A lot of times it's inspired by the method of production. I need to empty a tank. We have to move the production line. This beer goes in this tank. What are we going to do with this beer? We've got some bourbon barrels over here. Well, let's blend some beer. We're going to take some fresh from Florida ingredients to add to it. What type of flavor profile do we anticipate? And then it seems like a lot of times the best flavors of all come from the unanticipated. A lot of times I tell people a brewmaster is like a chef in many ways. A chef will walk through a produce market early in the morning and say, wow, these snap peas or this asparagus is really fresh to harvest. Let's buy some of that and let's build a plate together. Well, a lot of the same philosophy comes from the brewery end, albeit at a different pace. Because you can make a plate in the kitchen in a relatively short period of time. From a brewer's perspective, you're dealing with weeks, sometimes months.
So the trust between me and Tim is at the top, right? He is a master in his craft. I'm a master in my craft. We're not going, well, you might want to add this or you might want to take away that. He knows, the flavor profile of a certain dish, whether it be fish or steak, and then he can run with that. But the beer is essential to who we are as a native-inspired restaurant.
So Eggs and Kegs is basically where I do pop-up brunches at local breweries that don't have food. Been doing it for about 12 years when I needed a creative outlet for cooking. And I couldn't open a restaurant or, buy a food truck because I was a full-time special education teacher. So I knew it wasn't feasible. And then I went into Cigar City one time to ask Joey Redner if he wanted to do a dinner, and he said yes. So then I did that for about 7 years. And then after that, they opened a brew pub, and they did a remodel. So, that encouraged me to travel a little more. And now I do pop-up brunches at local breweries in the Tampa Bay area. So today I'm making Italian green beans, and I call this the sleeper side dish because it actually complements every other dish on the menu. It's such a simple rustic dish, but the flavors in it are so complex and like layered. And then, smelling the onions and garlic and olive oil kind of reminds me like getting a hug from your Sicilian grandmother. So basically, this is a Bohemian Pilsner. So it's got a nice hop profile, a little bitterness, and then you get a little sweetness from the malt too. So I'm just deglazing the pan with that. So it's just gonna add some depth and richness to the dish. The partnership with Wolfhaven came about, I've done quite a few brunches there. And before they opened, I approached them about doing a brunch. And the first one we ever did was a Thanksgiving brunch, and it was Italian. So we kind of have that relationship. They always requested I do the Thanksgiving brunch there. And come to find out, like, we know each other, our families know each other. They have a rich history in Tampa Bay, Ybor City, West Tampa, and we're both Sicilian. So it's kind of, a perfect theme for the brunch. Really, it's all about the beer. So when we decide on a beer that we want to feature, then I develop the menu around that pretty much. The balancing act of keeping it fun and creative is to be consistent with keeping it fun and creative. And then if I keep it fun and creative all the time, then that helps me create a menu that pairs perfectly with the brewery's beers. So I really love collaborating with brewers because it's a sense of connection and creativity. And actually what they do is very similar to cooking, you know what I mean? You're putting all these ingredients into one pot, and then you have this beautiful dish at the end, So we have a lot of similarities. And, when I sit down and have a beer with them and talk about doing events together, they get excited about my food, I get excited about their beer, and it's just, it's just a great relationship.
The Native Americans in 1503-ish, right, occupied these lands. And if everybody knows the story about Pocahontas and John Smith, well, that kind of happened about 80 years earlier with Eulalie and her dad, the chief. The conquistadors came in. Juan Ortiz was actually his name. He was getting ready to get burnt at the stake. And if you go look at the statue of Eulalie, she's got her hand out, right? She's telling dad to stop. There wasn't a whole lot of things that they were eating back then. One of those things is the Three Sisters. The Three Sisters is beans, corn, and squash. So we have a lot of the local ingredients, things that we thought that the natives would be rummaging around for. Tim's beer is pretty special, so I put it in a load of food. So the seafood risotto, which is actually our #1 seller, we sell 35,000 of those a year.
Our seafood risotto, I've seen grown men cry tears of joy over that plate. It hits the table and it's just steaming.
So seafood, lots of seafood. It's got a saffron risotto, so it's kind of light and bright. And so the Eulalie light lager. You know, that was one of his beginning beers that he mastered, and we actually use that beer when we're making our specialty stuff, our anniversary beer or our wedding beer. We just add ingredients to that base because it's so good. So, I mean, that is just a sparkling, crisp, clean lager that goes perfect with the seafood risotto.
A lot of our lagers, they just play perfectly to that palate expression.
We use the light lager also in the mac and cheese, the Gouda mac and cheese. So we try and introduce as much of that as possible.
It's not like a reality TV show. You know, you're not going to see the master chef walks in the room, the camera pans on something. All that's fine and dandy. But when it comes to the actual work, it's pretty arduous. It's very challenging. It's extremely rewarding, especially when the empty plate and the empty glass come across the table. Please, I'll have more. I'll have more. I love that moment.
John loves coming up with these awesome brunch ideas. And then we obviously have the spot to, like, he likes to come to, and he'll brainstorm the menu that he likes, and then he'll just come to us and be like, what do you feel about this menu? I put this awesome concept together, and we're always like, yeah, that sounds amazing. So it's definitely more on his like baby that he puts together and then brings it to us with like, what do you think? And we're always like, yes, let's do it.
Let's go on number one, Key.
John is incredible at putting these flavorful dishes together, and I tend to always have beer on that will go with those dishes because he has so much flavor that it's fun to play off the flavor that he's already come up with, and that's what makes it seamlessly pair together, is just the flavor that he brings and then what I can put with that as well.
So the turnout here today, seeing all these people, really, it's incredibly rewarding. And it means to me, mission accomplished. It means all my hard work is paid off, and it means I succeeded in my goal in bringing people together. It gives me a great sense of pride to connect brewers and guests through food and beer because it creates like a shared experience and meaningful memories for everybody. Yeah, keep digging, keep digging. It's in there at the bottom. Here, let me give you a little more.
Of all the stuff that I had, that's what I wanted because it's just so unusual. Is that kind of an Italian thing?
Oh yeah. Wait till you try it.
I love it. Thank you, bud. Appreciate it.
I think it's extremely important to have events like this for the community when it comes to the craft side of the food and the craft side of the beer, because we're trying to build everybody up. But then it also is really cool to see the support from that as well. So I think that's what is so exciting, is when you get to put your heart into something on the food side and on the beer side, and then people show up and enjoy that experience.
Most of the time I get to slow down and enjoy the food, but 100% of the time I get to enjoy a beer. Where is it? Right here.
So looking at this event and seeing the support, it shows that the Tampa Bay community like desperately loves beer and food, especially combined together, which is its natural element. Like you really shouldn't have one without the other. You need them paired together, and when the flavors match so well, it's just an awesome experience.
So there's a lot of things that make me proud about Eggs and Kegs, but the thing that makes me the proudest is the consistency of my guests. It lets me know that I'm doing something right. 95% of the guests are regulars. And in this industry, it's really important to see those familiar faces time and time again.
Beer is a social beverage. It's a lot like wine, but in many ways it's quite different. You know, so when you pair a beer to the plate, you're not just pairing the beer to the plate, you're pairing the beer to the table, right? The whole purpose of that endeavor is to bring the plate closer to you. And it's a magical moment. It's very rare. It's a constant pursuit. That's what brewing is all about.